everyone, I'm Amanda and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet a sweet little baby hat. I'll be using US crochet terms throughout the video. To make the hat, we'll be working in rounds. So the crown is made using double crochet stitches. And the main body of the hat is made up using the piqué stitch, which is basically a special type of cluster stitch. It's got a lovely texture. This cluster stitch is a combination of a double crochet and a half double crochet into the same stitch. It's not difficult to do, and I'll show you how easy it is in the video. The pom-pom on this hat is entirely optional. It looks really cute with the pom-pom, but I think it looks equally as cute just on its own. If you would like to see how I make my pom-poms and how I attach them to my hats, I'll leave links in the description box below. If you like written patterns, I have a free written pattern on my blog. Just click below in the description box to access it. For today's tutorial, I'll be using a category 3 light worsted double knit yarn, also known as a 8-ply. I used Deramores Studio Baby Soft double knit, but you can use any light worsted double knit 8-ply yarn. This one's lovely. It's really soft, it's 100% acrylic. It's got a lovely sheen to it, and it's really ideal for babies. The hook that you decide to use will be dependent on the size that you wish to make. If you want to make the newborn size, you'll use a G hook, which is 4mm. If you want to make the 0 to 3 month size, use a size 7, which is 4.5mm. And for the 3 to 6 month size, use an H hook, which is 5mm. You'll also need a pair of scissors to cut your yarn, and you'll need a tapestry needle to weave your yarn tail in. You can find details about all the materials I used below the video, and I'll also put the finished measurements of the 3 sizes below the video as well. To begin, I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to make a chain of 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain, so into this chain here, in order to form a ring. So I've just formed a little ring, and I'm going to be working my stitches into the centre of the ring in here. So I'm going to begin by chaining 2, 1 and 2, and this chain 2 counts as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to work 13 double crochet into the middle of the ring. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 13. So I've just worked my 13 double crochet, and then I'm going to come to the chain 2 that I made at the beginning, and into the top of the chain 2 I'm going to join with a slip stitch. Then I'm just going to pull on the little tail to tighten it. And at the end of round 1 you should have 14 stitches. Remember that the chain 2 counts as a stitch, so you'll be including this when you count your stitches around. For round number 2, begin by chaining 2, 1 and 2, and again this counts as your first stitch. And then I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So it will be in here at the base of the chain 2. And then I'm going to work 2 double crochet into the next 13 stitches. So into the next 13 stitches I'm going to work 2 double crochet. So the next stitch is in here. So there's 1 double crochet and then another double crochet back into the same stitch. And I'm going to work my 2 double crochet into each stitch all the way around. I've been working my 2 double crochet into each stitch, and the last stitch that I work into will be this stitch here. So I'll just work my 2 double crochet into this last stitch, and then to join the round I'm going to come to the chain 2 at the beginning and into the top of the chain 2 I'll join with a slip stitch. Try that again. And at the end of round number 2 you should have 28 stitches in total, and remember to count the chain 2 as a stitch. So you'll have 28 stitches in total. For round number 3, begin by chaining 2, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So it will be in here at the base of the chain 2. And then I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So into the next stitch here I'm going to work 1 double crochet, and then we're going to work on the round repeat. So to begin the repeat you're going to work 2 double crochet into the next stitch, so there's 1, and then another 1 back into the same stitch, and then you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So there's my 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So this is the repeat. So you'll work 2 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the following stitch. So I'll do it with you one more time. 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So there's 1 and then another 1 back into the same stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So you're going to work this repeat all the way around for a total of 13 times, and I'll meet you back at the beginning again and we'll close the round together. I'm just going to work the sequence with you over the last 2 stitches here. So 2 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch, which just happens to be the last stitch here. And then to join the round, I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 2 to join. And at the end of round 3, you should have 42 stitches in total. And again, the chain 2 counts as a stitch. For round 4, begin by chaining 2, 1 and 2, and then work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So right in here. And then work 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So into the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, we're going to work 1 double crochet. So there's 1, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to work on the repeat. So to begin the repeat, and this is what you're going to be repeating all the way around. So to begin, work 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So there's 1 and then another 1 back into the same stitch, and then work 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2, so there's 1 double crochet and then another double crochet into the next stitch. So you can see I've got my 2 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into each of the following 2 stitches. So this is going to be the repeat. So I'll work it with you one more time. 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So there's 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So I'm going to work this repeat all the way around for a total of 13 times, and I'll meet you back at the beginning again. I've just finished working the sequence all the way around, so you can see I worked my 2 double crochet into the same stitch, and then 1, 2 into the last 2 stitches here. And then to join the round, I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 to join. And at the end of round 4, you should have a total of 56 stitches. For round 5, chain 2, and then work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. And then I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So into the next 1, 2 and 3, I'm going to work 1 double crochet. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to work on the repeat, which is what we'll be repeating all the way around. So to begin the repeat, I'm going to work 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So there's my 2 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2 and 3. So there's 1, 2 and 3. So this is the repeat. So it's 2 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. So I'll do it with you one more time. 2 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2 and 3. So I'm going to work this off camera. I'm going to repeat this sequence all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the beginning again and we'll close the round together. So I've just finished working round number 5, and to join the round I'm going to come to the chain 2 and into the top of the chain 2 I'll join with a slip stitch. And at the end of round 5 you should have a total of 70 stitches. Now that we've finished working on the crown of your little hat, it's probably a good idea to check that you're okay for size. So I'm doing the 0 to 3 months with the size 7 4.5mm hook. So for this age it should measure about 4 3/4 inches. For newborn it will be around 4 1/4 inches, and for 3 to 6 months it should measure around about 5 1/4 inches. We're now ready to start working on the main body of the hat. So for round number 6, begin by chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, and the chain 3 does not count as your first stitch. And then we're going to start working on the piqué stitch, and to make the piqué stitch we're going to be working a special cluster. So we're going to make our first special cluster stitch into the same stitch. So it will be in here at the base of the chain 3. So to make the special cluster stitch, yarn over hook, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert your hook back into that same stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And that's the special cluster stitch. And then we're going to skip the next stitch. So we'll skip the next stitch here. And then we're going to work on the repeat. So to begin the repeat, you're going to work 1 special cluster into the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then yarn over, insert your hook back into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. And then we're going to skip the next stitch. So I'll do that again. Work 1 special cluster into the next stitch. And then skip the next stitch. Then work 1 special cluster into the next stitch. And then skip the next stitch. So this is the sequence that you're going to be repeating all the way around for round number 6. So I'm going to work this off camera, and then I'll meet you back once I've completed round number 6, and we'll close the round together. So I've just finished working this sequence all the way around for round 6. So I worked my last special cluster and then I skipped the last stitch here. And then to join the round, we've got the chain 3 at the beginning. I'm going to skip this chain 3 and instead I'm going to come over to the first special cluster that I made, and into the top of that stitch I'm going to join with a slip stitch. So at the end of round 6 you should have a total of 35 special cluster stitches. We're now going to work on round number 7, and this is going to be the round that you're going to repeat in order to work up the main body of your hat. So begin by chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then turn your work. So at the end of the round we're going to turn our work, and that's what's going to create a nice little texture. So we're then going to work 1 special cluster into the same stitch. So it will be at the base of the chain 3, so it will be in here. And then for the remainder of this round, I'm going to work 1 special cluster into the next 34 stitches. So I'm going to work my special cluster stitches off camera, and I'll meet you back at the beginning again. So I'm just going to work my last special cluster stitch with you, and it will be into this stitch here. Not this stitch, this is where the chain 3 and the first cluster stitch is coming out of. So my last stitch will be in here. And then to join the round, I'm going to come over to the first special cluster, so I'm going to skip the chain 3 and then come to the first special cluster and slip stitch into the top of that stitch to join. And that's the end of round number 7, and you should have 35 special cluster stitches in total. And then for rounds 8 to 14, you're going to repeat round number 7. So you'll begin by chaining 3, turn your work, and then you'll work 1 special cluster into the same stitch. And then you'll work 1 special cluster into the next 34 stitches. And then when you come back to the beginning again, you'll slip stitch to the top of the first special cluster to join. So I'm going to work rounds 8 to 14, whereby I'm repeating round 7. I'll do this off camera, and then I'll meet you once I've worked the main body of my little hat. I've just finished working round 15, and I've just worked my last stitch in here, and I'm going to close the round. So I'll just come to the first special cluster and join with a slip stitch. So I've worked my beginning from the top. I've worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So we're going to work on the last round, round number 15, and we're just going to put a simple single crochet edging all the way around. So to begin, chain 1, and then work 1 single crochet into the same stitch. And then into each of the next 33 stitches, we're going to work 2 single crochet. So there's 1, and then I'll work another single crochet back into the same stitch. So you're just going to work 2 single crochet into the next 33 stitches until you have 1 stitch remaining. I've just finished working my 2 single crochet into those 33 stitches, and I've got 1 stitch remaining, this one here, and into this last stitch I'm just going to work 1 single crochet. And then I'm ready to close the round, so I'm going to skip the chain 1 at the beginning, and I'm going to come to the first single crochet that I made, and I'm going to join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch. And that's the end of round 15, and that's the end of our little baby hat. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and cut my yarn, and then I'm just going to fasten off. So chain 1 and then pull the yarn through, and then I'm just going to weave the yarn tail through my yarn needle, and I'm just going to weave this little tail in. And here's the little baby hat all finished. You can see the nice texture that the piqué stitch creates. and you can add a pom-pom if you like. It is completely optional. I will put the tutorial on how I make my pom-poms and how I attach them to my hats below the video. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, you may want to show some support by giving it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos that I upload. Thanks for watching.